Hello everyone, and welcome to a bonus episode for Signalis. Last time we finished the main game and got the promise ending, where LSTR finally kept it and put Ariane out of her misery, seemingly. The game definitely is a bit vague on a lot of story details and is left to, I guess, the player's imagination to piece together exactly what's happened and what was happening. I have gone through my thoughts on that in previous videos. I won't re-articulate them here. However, we are back for business. There is one more ending to this game. And it's an ending that can only be accomplished once you have beaten the main game before. The artifact ending. When we went into the room and we interacted with the king in yellow, there was a safe on the bottom right, and it had 3 padlocks on it. Now, we can get that open. Only on a New Game Plus, however. You have to start a new game after having originally beaten it to be able to get the keys. I have looked up how to find them, and I've enjoyed this game enough that I'm willing to detail this. So we are going to begin anew. I guess also having kind of quick little route through the other endings and what they are. Maybe it's slightly debatable if what we got was the best ending. It's all a bit subjective, you know. It doesn't matter. Anyways. So. We start a new game. We're going, by the way, just so you know, I've actually gone and made the game easy. I've extended my inventory slots and such just to make it look easier because I'm going to have to respin here. So. What we've got to do, basically, is over the course of the game, when we go for this second ending, or this special ending, is that we will come across some additional things that we can do. Maybe not the easiest to find, but they are about. And what we've got to go and do is find these 3 keys. They are hidden away in special areas of the game for us to identify and work out what we've got to do. Right, I've got to get this open. I forgot about that. Jeez, I've got all these puzzle solutions now. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be obviously playing through the whole game here. I'm just kind of talking as I'm going about here. But yeah, this is what we've got to do, is get our solutions. So, we're back here. This is as we go to enter the strange hole at the start of the game. I want to check something, because I never really got the chance to look around here when we first came through here, originally, which was my own fault. Was there more we could look at around here? It is here. A heavy safe box wrapped in chains. And that is what we're going to attempt to bust open here. Alright then. Yeah, it's weird kind of coming across all this, obviously, and just looking at everything, you know? That is kind of creepy looking, isn't it? It's not... I don't think it's quite blank. Do you think that's actually, like, meant to be like an eye, or... mean, who the fuck knows, really, right? Here's the radio transmitter. And of course, what we're actually here for is the book. Okay, and everyone, so it's time for us to get the first component. So we are here in the work accommodations. This is the B2 of the Sierpinski facility. I've gone through the whole open area, jumped down the hole, met the star unit, and gone through most of this. And what we've importantly done is we've unlocked the butterfly box, which gives us access to the radio module. Now, with the radio module in hand, we can start acquiring the various pieces that we need. Again, I don't know exactly how you're meant to find this stuff and work it out, but it's the internet. People know this. So, what we've got to first do is we've got to go to a specific room. Now, the reason we need the radio module is because we obviously need this in story in the game to open the various frequencies here. So this is what you use to open the various saves that are about. And one thing I had noted when I first played this is how it's interesting going through here and finding stuff that isn't part of that list. Some of it's relevant, some of it's not. So this is the code for the tree safe, for example, 12710. But you can kind of go through these. So you got 147, so this is another one of the codes here. But if we just keep going down, we got something. I don't know exactly what that is, though. Keep going down again. This is another one of these codes here. Sounds pretty bad. But if we go a little further, we hear this. 96 is important. So what you've got to do is swing your way over here, and we need to go to the isolation room. It's a room that in the first time I played this, I didn't spend a lot of time with. There was indeed a protector unit and not a lot in here. So it's around, and there's these various bodies lying in these cages. Now, what you've got to do, should you choose to accept it, is set the receiver to 96. And have this song play. And what you want to do is start looking about the room. And what you'll find is with this cage right here, if you look at the right part of it with this playing, you will eventually find the key of love. Good luck with that. Cycle 888. I try to teach Elster how to dance. It's so cute how clumsy she can be when it comes to these things. 1024. Before I met Elster, I never believed I would find someone that I could fall in love with like that. This is one of the 3 keys that we need for the safe. Let's go get some more, shall we? Okay, so for the second part of this, we are now down in the facility below. This is after having gone through the minor boss fight, getting shoved down the elevator, and I've been clearing through a fair selection of the lower accommodations area for Sierpinski. So, to get this one, it's going to be fun and games. We need to get hold of the flashlight module. We don't especially technically need it, but my god, will this make your life a lot easier. And what we need to do is make our way down to the 8th floor. Make sure you're heavily armed for this, by the way, because, guess where we're going. Oh, yeah. It's in here. Let's go to town. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the revolver, which is going to make dealing with this star unit a bit tricky. There we go. The trick is to hit it when it's, like, swinging, or to get around it to bypass its shield. That's the trick. So, take some healing, take some rounds, all lovely and well and good. I should keep myself as well. So what you've got to do here is to go exploring once more. Now, you'll remember this area. If you make your way down here, you've got this war zone. There's some ammo for us here. And this will take you down to where the... if I'll quickly just show you just to remind. So you come down here. Your flashlight breaks. You can't turn it back on. And you'll find that you've got this, this star unit, or the arrow unit down here. That's kind of gone renegade, basically. And we'll come and fix it for you, which is really nice of them. And you can chat with them, obviously, and whatever else. And grab some ammo, because I'm probably going to need it. Where she's learned about kind of the control. We learn about all of the zone degradation stuff, that sort of thing. Anyways, we're not here for any of this. Although there is a repair spray that I'll just quickly... just use it, but it's fine. What we're here for is back upstairs. Now, this one's a tricky one to find, as they obviously are. It's around here, believe it or not. You've got these various pictures and paintings here. You can look at bits and pieces, and you've also got this bookcase here as well. There's a pear spray there. I probably shouldn't have taken that, actually. Medical science is fine. So what we got to do is, well, go exploring once more around your receivers. So again... you don't get a lot of stuff down here, by the way, in this area. There's very little that you'll find as you go through. Oh, but do you notice how, like, our diagnostics were down as over-cluttered because our inventory's heavy? There's very little to be found here. But if you make your way really high up the list... to about... beyond. But if you keep going down the list here, past the bleeping, you'll eventually stumble upon more chatter here. My understanding is I believe it's this. And it is. Again, how you're supposed to know that, I don't know. But there is the second key. The key of eternity. Your mileage may vary on like how obtuse it is to try and find some of these things. I get it. Are you still looking for answers when there are only questions? There's nothing but heartbreak at the end. And the last key is here at Rotfront. It's been interesting speeding through the game, by the way. It's been very strange. It's also allowed me a chance to kind of try to gather my thoughts on what I think has actually been happening in this game, because it is a bit vague, and I will talk a bit about that once we're all said and done here. Anyways, so the last piece that we need for the safe, I can't remember the exact direction it is, but we need to base, I think it's in here from reserves. Here it is. This is the way to where we find Issa and getting into sort of the bookstore, I think it is. There's a code here. Now, you'll normally work this out by basically figuring out the birth date of the Ito sisters. Now, I do already know this. I don't think I require to go checking it out. It is 560524. And if you know the code, you can get straight in and sequence break, because, you know, that's fun. Now, when you get in here, there is this book here, The Song of the Gods, which talks about, you know, bioresonance and that sort of thing. All that stuff going on there. Now, It's a really relevant book, actually, because it took that at the end there, by the way, about the Grand Empress and her immense will bending humanity to the Empire use and lifted us to the stars. May or may not be relevant. But there is one more code for us here on the receiver. Now, again, you can check around. There's bits and pieces and trying to find your way through this. There's bits you need to do, obviously, for the puzzle later on. And there's more chatter over there, but I believe what we need to do is set the receiver. That's the birds for later. To 240. And a little bit left of this, in this bookshelf here, is where you'll find the key of sacrifice. On the horizon, I saw a star fall into the sea, and the sound of thunder, like trumpets of angels, flew over the wing. A mix of hail, fire, and blood hit my wet face, and a third of all creatures that lived in the sea died. A bit ominous. But that is the 3 keys we require. So now what I've got to go and do is complete the rest of the game, and I will see you back at the atrium. Alright then, so with any luck, we've gotten hold of all the various cards. Here we go. Just gotten hold of, done the pack station for the Sun card, and that brings down the dial ring, which is what we need to complete the game. So first things first, is we're going to come over here, we're going to put the dial ring onto Rockfront, because we have to do that, that's what we've been waiting for. Now, before you mess with this, you don't actually have to do anything with the cards, by the way, you just have to have been gathering them and trigger enough points. Before you mess with that, as you may remember from the last video, or a couple of years ago, that once you solve that puzzle, you cannot interact with anything else, so before you go anywhere near it, make sure to head into your inventory and pick up the 3 keys. Do not forget this. And then it's just simply a case of solving the puzzle. I've gone through how you explain that, go through that with the whole the tarot card stuff. It's pretty cool. But the solution you need is you need Bullion to be empty, Veneda to be slightly on the left side, Kitze slightly on the right side, Rockfront full eclipse, Heimat slightly on the left side, and then Leng largely covered on the left side. And when it's done, you can enter. And again, at this point, you cannot return. So, we head inside. We take it, and we get to Ariane's room. Now, what you would normally do is you would come here to the King in Yellow, you would interact with it, and that would let you leave. However, you do not want to do this. This will send you down the normal route. We need to do something else. So, let's come down to the safe and put in the 3 keys. The key of eternity. The key of love. And the key of sacrifice. And that brings us to this. We have one more code to enter. But of course the question is, what the hell's the code? Now you can go into your inventory, by the way, in here. So we can look at our various bits of information, and that is definitely available to you to go through. Maybe we need to return. Let's look at the the Miranda safe codes. What was the what was that old original number? You know, the one, the standard one, the base one. Where is it here? Did I grab that? I did. Over here. 204512. Alright then. Well, it's worked a lot of times. 204512. Damn it. Did not work. Okay. Well, we've got the symbol here. Can that... Does that belong to any of these frequencies? Moon, sun... I mean... None of these work, of course, because it's the manufacturer. So it's none of those. So what's the code? Well, when you think about it, it should be somewhat obvious what the code is supposed to be. Think about everything that we've gone through over the course of this game. You know, this is Ariane's room. You know, this whole thing that's been around us has been this manufacturing of the world. Is it to do with these numbers? It's not to do with those numbers as such, but everything that we've gone through in this area has been related to Ariane, part of her memories, part of her identity. So what would be a number sequence that would be so meaningful to her life and where she is now to be used for this? Of course, there is only one thing it could possibly be. So I'm going to zoom into it. Do you remember the code we've heard all these times? The code that brought about the gradual self-destruction of the Penrose? We've been hearing it repeated again and again in the main menu, in cutscenes. When you first come to this room, at the beginning of the game literally writes it out for you. And that code is... Drei, Nun, Vier, Acht, Sech, Null, Ein, Sieben, Null, Zwei, Vier, Drei, Zwei, Sech, Null, Eins, Null, Sech, Vier. And inside is this. This has also been seen throughout the game. When we were at the first memory thing, at the radio station with Ariane's mother, Iris, I believe her name was, she kept these in the station. And indeed, on the Penrose, after going through the fake ending, you find some of these in the cargo hold in the ship. It is her only connection with her only family. White lilies. And that is the artifact ending. I don't know if it's any truer to any of the others you can find, but it lends credence to what I think actually has kind of been going on here. And I did a little bit of hunting around to kind of make sure I wasn't completely off the beaten track. Clearly, what's going on here has a bit of inspiration from like the Silent Hill series, of the ability of an individual to warp their surroundings around them for whatever reason. We already know that Ariane turned out had a really attuned bioresonance to her. And after the events of the Penrose and being in agony, dying slowly of radiation poisoning, and, to the point where she didn't even know she wanted to live or die or what anymore. It's pretty clear to me that the Penrose eventually crashed into some sort of icy planet, like we saw at the start. My best guess is that there was something there that they crashed on. And when eventually, because Ariane had been kept alive in the bioresonance, in the cryo chamber, her bioresonance, I guess, interacted in somewhere with something that was on there. And because she couldn't die, because she was in cryogenesis, she couldn't kill herself. She was being kept alive by it, basically, because of else to put her in there to try and save her life. They kind of, I guess, festered off each other. Now, in regards to what we've been seeing at the game, like at Sierpinski on Lane, I legit think that happened. And I think what's happening, and this is going to be pretty wacky here, and stay with this, and this is a logic step, I accept this. I think Ariane's ability, her interaction with whatever it was on the planet that kind of created this, and it is left vague, basically allowed her to do what the Great Empress did. It mentioned before in the book, and I made to point out how it was said she bent reality to her will, and I think that's what basically suggested is happening here. Ariane, whether she meant to or not, was bending realities of places she had been to her will. And so all that shit that was going down at Sierpinski was legitimately happening as her reality and memory started becoming part of, because she'd been there, and basically started just corrupting everything down there and making it a complete hellhole. And I do think the things that we saw there definitely happened. Now, in regards to whether Elsa was actually there or where she's actually been, I don't know. When you get into the realms of reality being warped and bent, like, you can kind of do whatever the hell you want, and admittedly, I would appreciate it for it to be a bit clearer what happened, but that's my best guess. Regardless, a pretty tragic fucking story of being basically sent on a mission to die by her own nation, and kept alive by the one person that she cared for. But of course, even she was in cryogenesis, she was still in a state of agony and pain. Like, being cryogenesis doesn't heal her from radiation poisoning, it just prolonged it. But what else was Elsa to do? What other options did she have? And so what I think ultimately happens in that ending is that I think basically my best guess is, like, she dies, Elsa, but kind of ends up being that's what I'm looking for here. Kind of becomes part of whatever Ariane was, because in this ending, Ariane doesn't die. We never find her in the cryogenesis. We never get there. But with Elster now a part of Ariane's kind of dream state, if you will, hopefully there's a chance for her to find rest after all. And that is my best guess. I'm curious to know what you guys make of the story of this. And if you think that's what happened, you think you've got different theories. But that's the best guess I've got. I would also say there are not that many games nowadays, so I would willingly go and sit here for 3 hours playing through the game again just to show that off to you. Many ways I would say it exists. Go find it yourself. The internet is there, but I wanted to do this and I wanted to show it off because I've really enjoyed this game. It's been awesome. I do think that when you look at the story in a lot of detail, there's some holes, and I'm sure there's some parts of the story that I haven't even quite fully worked out and held and understood. And there's probably some things I've missed, some little details here and there, but all in all, that is going to be it for Signalis in this series. A amazing job done by the development team. I think they can be incredibly proud of themselves of what they generated, and I'm really glad that this game got a lot of good exposure and a lot of folks got to play this and really enjoy it. And bringing the survival horror kind of world a bit more to the 21st century. I think a really, really noble effort of it. You know, it's been thought-provoking. It's been fascinating. The music's been awesome. The atmosphere has been really, really just almost infatuating. Very engrossing. But, yeah. If Ariane is basically to live for potentially forever at this point, I don't know. It can be a happy existence now. It's been great to be back doing Let's Play series. I'm really, really glad that I chose this one to begin. For those that have been asking me to do this for a while, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Hope it was worth the wait. And we will be back for more series very, very soon. Gute Nacht, alle zusammen. See you soon.